Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Code Logic. So today we are going to see how we can develop a news website using simple HTML and the public APIs. So in this video we are going to develop a news website which will fetch the data from the news or .org public APIs, and we are going to display that data in our website. So in this video you will learn a lot of new things. So stay till the end and watch the full video, and if you are new here, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to share it with your friends. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So this is our website, we have developed it, and in the end you will be also able to develop this kind of website. So here you can see these are the latest news, and you can see the inside technology section we have all the related news regarding technology. So whenever you click on any news, it will be open into a new tab with full details. You can see. Okay, let's try another one. So whenever you click on any keyword in our search box, then it will search related results and it will display in our website. Okay, so let's search for another keyword. Let's say Indian Army. Then you can see all the related news to the Indian Army has been shown here. So now we'll start developing our code. So we are in VS Code. We have created one folder inside which we are going to create one simple HTML file, index.html. After that we'll create another index.js file. Okay, and after that the last one, style.css file. Okay, inside index.html file we are going to import the bootstrap. So for that we are going into our official website of bootstrap, getbootstrap.com. Here you can see there is a starter template. We are going to copy that template. We'll add it here inside our code. Okay, we'll remove the comments. After that we'll change the title to a news website. Also remove the last comments. Now we are going to inject our script. So in a script tag with the src attribute we are going to add index.js. Okay, and also in our head section we are going to import our style sheet. So inside our link tag we have imported that. Okay, now in our body tag, so we are going to add one class. It will contain the m0, that means margin is 0, and p0, that means padding is 0. We'll create a new div tag here. We'll add class as a container dash fluid. It is a bootstrap class which will act for the full window size. Okay, and after that we'll create another div which is navbar. So inside this div tag we are going to import the navbar. So we are going to copy that and we'll paste it again. So next section will contain the news section. In this div tag we are going to add news, and last one will be the footer. Okay, so we have now on the documents of getbootstrap.com. We'll search for the navbar. Here we are. We'll select the first one, we'll copy it and we'll add it on in our code. Okay, now we are going to change the name of navbar, the heading which is a news 34, and also we are going to add class text warning, which will change the color of the navbar text. Okay, after that we are going to remove the unwanted links. Firstly, we'll add the link business there. Okay, we don't want this drop down menu. Okay, okay, so we'll remove this disable link also. Now we'll add new link, that is sports. So in this link we are going to display the sports news. Okay, we have added some other links like technology, entertainment. Okay, the first link will be the general news. Now we'll check here. We are going to add a href attribute, which is a hash general, so it will be appear in our url. Also we are going to add id here, general. Okay, for business also we are going to add id. We'll change first the href attribute to business, then we'll add id. For sports we are adding id sport and href attribute sports. Similarly for technology and the entertainment. Okay, now for the form tag we'll remove the unnecessary attributes. In a placeholder we add search news. Okay, and for the button we'll add type as a button, and we'll change its color to warning, that means yellow color. Okay, so we'll go inside extensions. We need one extension there, live server. With this extension we can check our code's output simultaneously. So in the first link you just have to download it and then enable it. Okay, so here you can see in the bottom of the blue bar go live option is there. So whenever you click on that, it will be redirecting to the port 5000 on which your website will be shown up. Okay, we'll go in our navbar. We'll change its background to the dark, beige color to the dark. Okay, as you can see here, but we don't need that spacing. Okay, so we are going to remove that spacing. So for the first div tag we are going to add margin 0 and padding 0. Okay, you can see the spacing is gone now. Now when you click on the general, the url is changing, you can see there. Okay, while copying the code, each link has active attribute, so we are going to remove that. Okay, that's good now. Now we'll close the navbar, and inside a footer we are going to add some code there. So for that also we are going to our bootstrap, and we search for the navbar section. We'll scroll down a bit. Okay, so we'll copy this code and we'll add it inside our index.html file. So here for that div tag we are going to remove the class. Okay, and we want this navbar also to look dark. We'll remove that anchor tag there. We have added the h5 tag with the text muted. That means the uh, text color is slightly gray, and we want the text to be in center of the tag. So that for that we have added the me auto and ms auto. That means margin end auto and margin start auto. And inside the h5 tag we are adding the text which is code logic, and for the logic part we have added the span, so that that logic part will be with the text as a warning. That means the text is yellowish color. Okay, and for the nav also we'll require some margin top, that is empty dash 4. You can see this is our code logic. Okay, this is our footer. Okay, we'll change it to the, yeah, text white, so it looks better now. Now inside a news section we'll add a row, and for that we are going to add id news details. Okay, so we required another row there for the heading tag with the id news type. Okay, everything looks good now. So now inside our index.js file we'll declare some variables here. So const first name will be our general. Whenever we click on that general button link, this variable will get the details. So for that we are using the document.getElement by id, and we are passing the id. We'll copy the id from here, we'll paste it here. Okay, we'll copy the content and we'll add it few more times. So now we have to do it for rest of the links also. So for that we are going to change the variable names. Second will be the business button, next will be the sports button. Okay, after that we are going to add the entertainment button, and last one will be the search button. Okay, I think we have missed the technology button. Copy the entertainment and we'll add it here. We'll change the name to the technology. Okay, after that we are going to change the id. So we'll copy the id of business link, we'll paste it here. Similarly for the sports, for the entertainment. Now we'll add ID for the search button also. Okay, we'll copy that, we'll paste it here, and one remaining is the technology. We'll copy that also, we'll add it here. Okay, so this is the API section. Okay, we'll define APIs here. Okay, whenever user click on the button, we are adding the add event listener on that event. So for a click event, we are going to call one function there. Okay, so firstly we'll copy the code and we'll paste it here few times. So for each button we are going to check for the event listener. Okay, so we'll change the name of buttons. So whenever user click on these buttons, these functions will get called, and inside this function we are going to write another function there which will fetch the data from a server. Okay, so firstly we'll go inside index.html file. For this input tag, we'll change its type to the text, and we'll add here ID. I'll name it as a news query. Okay, for this also we are going to create a variable. Okay, nextly we'll create a constant, news const, sorry, news type. Okay, and lastly we are going to create a row that is for the news details variable. Okay, so yeah, and after that we'll see how we can fetch the APIs from the newsapi.org.com. So we'll visit that website. Okay, so firstly you need to register yourself to access the APIs. So click on that get API key button. You will redirect to a registration page. Okay, you have to fill all the details there and submit. Okay, I have registered it, so I'll go back and I'll log in. So once you are registered successfully, you will redirect to this page. Here you will get your API key. We'll go back and we'll go inside our documentation. So in documentation, you'll see how we can fetch the data. All the detailed documentation is there. So we'll check for the top headlines. Okay, this is our request parameters. So API key is required for all the requests, and there are some other parameters like country. So you can choose any country. The news will be sorted according to the country. There are country codes like US, IN. US stand for USA, IN is for India. Also, apart from that, there are categories. So business, entertainment, general, sports. So we are going to use the category section here. Also, there are sources like if you want to check for the BBC News, then we can add it here inside sources. And this queue is for the general query. When we are searching for any news, then at the time we are using that queue. Okay, the size is 20 by default, but we can make it up to 100. Okay, these are the some parameters here, and this will be our response object. So firstly it will give us a status, then top results, articles. Inside articles you will get all the details. So here you can see on the right hand side, inside article there is a URL of the actual news. Okay, the time when it is published, it is separated by T. Okay, and then content. Okay, that's it here. And you can see there are various libraries, client libraries. You can use any one of them. Okay, now I have added some code here. Let's walk through that code only. So first is our API key. Okay, then it is our headline news. So in that variable I have added the URL. So you can see countries IN and API key. So we are going to add that API key value there. For the business we have added category as a business. Here also similarly for sports. Okay, general news, we'll add category is a general, and you can see it is separated by and symbol. So country, API key and category, which are separated by and symbol. Now in general button dot add event listener function, we are going to call another function there, fetch general news. Okay, we'll define that function. Before that we'll create a array. Inside this news data array our news will be fetched. Okay, we are defining that function now. We are using here async and await call to fetch the data. Inside a response variable we'll call the fetch method and we'll pass the general news URL, plus we'll add API key. Okay, you can see here general news and API key. And after that, if response is in the range 200 to 299, then that means we have got successful response, and in that case only we are going to add data to our news data array. Otherwise we are going to print some error message there. Okay, we have assigned empty array to news data array, and now we'll check for the JSON, and we are calling the response.json method so to get that JSON array. And now inside news data array we are going to pass my JSON. Okay, and then we are calling another method, that is display data, display news. Okay, similarly we'll add for each headline Now we'll change name of that function. Second will be the fetch business news. Then next will be the fetch sports news. Then the entertainment news. And the last one will be the technology. And for the search button, fetch query. Yeah. So we'll copy the fetch general news function. Okay. And we'll paste it few more times. Okay. We'll change the name. Second one will be the fetch business news. We'll paste it here. And we'll change the URL to business news. Okay, so it will fetch the business related news here. Then after that we'll check for the sports news. Okay, we'll change its URL to sports URL, sports news. Okay, we'll close the function, and this one is the general news. Okay, now we'll fetch the entertainment URL. We'll rename the method. We'll change the URL. We'll close the function. Similarly for the technology. Okay, now we'll define one more method to fetch the query. So inside this function we'll create a response object which will fetch the data from URL. So news, search news plus news query. So we are going to fetch that news query value here. So whichever keyword you will type there, that keyword will be pasted inside URL, and then at the last we are going to add API key. Now if we'll check for the response.status, if it is in the range 200 to 299, then we are going to call for the JSON object. Otherwise we will handle the errors. Okay. We'll copy the code, paste it, and we have initialized news data array here, and again we are calling display news method. That method is not defined yet. We are going to define that method. Okay, so in the else part we'll print out the error. Okay, we'll copy the code and we'll add it in all the functions. Okay, after that, inside a news data array, we are going to add the myjson dot, okay, myjson. Okay. We're also going to print the console myjson object to check what data is coming inside that object. So in a developer window, when you click on any button, so it's saying that, okay, we are getting the result here. Okay, inside the article section, we are getting the arrays. Okay, array of news. Okay, we will need that array only, the article section. We don't need another data. So for that, we'll update our code. So myjson.articles. So inside a news data array, we are going to paste myjson.articles value. Okay, so that array will contain only the news part. Okay, that's it. Now we are going to uh, write the function that is display news. So this function will contain some code which will dynamically add news in our HTML page. We'll add a component, the encode URL component, so that whenever if any in query, if you have a space, then it will treat as a URL. Okay, and if it is value is null, then we are simply returning. Okay. So now in a display news section, if data array news data array dot length is exactly equal to 0, then news details dot inner HTML. So we are going to write that no data was found. So inner HTML method is used to write some data inside that tag. So news detail is referring to the row tag. Okay, and then after that we are returning. So in news details dot inner HTML, we are first initialize it with a null, that is empty string. Now on news data array, we are going to apply for each loop. For each news, we are going to create some dynamic HTML code. So for that, we'll first use a var call, and we are using the function document.createElement. We are passing value as a div. So that means we are creating the div element and we are storing it in a call variable. So for that, we are going to add class also. So call.class name. So here we have added call sm12 and call md. These are the bootstrap classes which is used for the responsive website development. And also we are going to add padding there, p2. Now for card, we'll create another element which is of div. Okay, and for card dot class name, we are going to add some classes there. Okay, now for the image, we'll create the img tag. And we are going to set the image attributes, that is height and width. height will be the match parent, and the width will be the 100%. Okay. Here you can see we are getting the data. Okay, and for the news URL you can see URL to image. So image.src equal to news.url to image. Yeah, we don't need that double quotes here. News.url to image. Okay, now we'll add some card body. We'll create another element, and also we need the heading. So we are inside that heading tag. We are going to create a new HTML element of type h5, and we'll add class there, card dash title. So these are the bootstrap classes used to display the headings inside a card. Also we need inner HTML, and to that we are going to add news dot title. So this is the data which we are getting from that uh, news array, and we'll create a date heading. So in date heading we are using h6 tag. We'll add a class there. We have added text primary, that means color of that date will be the blue. And we have defined the date. So here you can see the published at, that is the actual date we are getting, and we are splitting it on the value t. So in our URL, so we are getting the date and time, so that's why we are splitting it on t. And inside our date heading, we are just adding only the date part. So for that we are using date of 0. Okay, okay. Now we'll create a description variable, and for that we'll use a p tag, paragraph tag. Okay, we'll add some classes, that is text muted, and in the description tag we are going to pass the news dot description. Okay, lastly in card body we are going to append children's. First one will be the heading. Okay, and after that we'll add date. We'll copy paste it. We'll add date heading, and then lastly we'll add description. Okay, and now in card you can see here we have created another variable card. So in that card we are going to add image and card body. Card dot append children, image first, and then we'll add card body. Okay, lastly we are going to add card into column. Understand the overall structure here. We have column inside which we have card, and inside which we have image and card body. So, and after that inside card body we have heading, date and description tag. Okay, so after that we'll create one link variable, document dot create element, which will be our anchor tag, and we'll add some classes there. btn stands for button, and its color will be the dark. And after that we'll set some attributes. Target is blank, that means it will open that news in a new tab. Okay, and after that for link.innerhtml we'll add text read more. So whenever user click on that read more button, it will redirect to the new tab. And we'll add a href attribute, news.url. Okay, and we'll append that link into a card body. Okay, it looks good now. For lastly in news details dot append chain, we are pasting the column. Okay, so whenever user click on the general button here, you can see we are getting some data. Okay, so these are the latest news. These are the data we are getting only when we are click on that link, but we want whenever user reloads that page, the news should be popped up. So for that windows dot onload function is there. So we are going to call that function, and we are going to call fetch headline method. Okay, so also we are going to add news type dot inner html. This will display what type of news it is. Okay, so we are wrapping it inside a h4 tag. We'll add it for each function. Okay, and after that we'll change its content. Second will be the general news, next one will be the business, then sports, entertainment and technology. And for the search button, we are also going to use the search query here. Okay, we'll remove that plus sign, and news query, which will be news query dot value, which will show us our search the result. Okay, and we are now defining the fetch headline method. We'll copy the fetch general news function, we'll paste it, and we'll change its name to the fetch headlines. And now we'll change the function name and we'll change the URL to headline news. Okay, now you can see whenever you refresh, okay, we are not getting data there. Something is wrong with the function. Yeah, okay, okay, you can see without any reload we are getting the data. So whenever you click on the general, you can see general news, business. Okay, it is taking some time. So we are going to add some padding there. For row, we'll add margin top 3, sorry, M3, and then we'll add MEMS, and MEMS stands for margin end and margin start. And for the footer, we are going to add margin top 5. Okay, you can see here. When we are going to technology section, you can see we are fetching the technologies here, technology related news. So whenever you click on any news, it will open it in a new page with all the details. Okay, so suppose we are going to search any keyword here. You can see the Omicron related news are getting popped up. We'll search for another keyword here, Indian Army. Okay, you can see all the related news to the Indian Army has been popped up here. Okay, that's it for the video, guys. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and if you have any queries, then feel free to comment it below. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.